Welcome to the hormones portion of holistichealingdiagnostics.com. Please take as much time as you need to read about each individual test that I offer below. And just a little disclaimer, these are not the only tests that I have available. These are just the ones that I use most frequently with my clients when it comes to looking more deeply at what is causing their hormone imbalance, where exactly their hormone imbalance currently lies, and what we can do to resolve this hormone imbalance at its core. I have detailed each of these tests, these functional lab tests below, and if you have any questions regarding any of these tests, please go ahead and schedule a free health consultation with me. I would be happy to answer any of your questions and get to know a little bit more about you and what your health struggles have been thus far. There is no obligation to sign up for any kind of a program. This free health consultation is just an opportunity for you to get to know me a little better and vice versa. Hormone imbalances are affecting almost all of us to some degree in this modern day and age, with all of the chronic stresses that we are experiencing that are truly new to our generation, that have been developed in the last 100 to 200 years alone. We are now really at odds when it comes to maintaining a healthy hormone balance and a hormone system that is self-regulatory and not reliant on external substances such as caffeine to keep us awake and keep us feeling active in our bodies, and things such as alcohol to keep us feeling relaxed, keep us feeling happy, but rather having a system that is regulating all of your oxytocin experience, the feeling of love, the feelings of euphoria and joy, or having hormones that can calm you down after an acute stress has occurred to rebalance your nervous system post-stress and continue to function properly throughout the day. Some of the factors that have developed in the last 100 to 200 years that have majorly impacted the way our hormones are functioning as a society are industrial agricultural practices, which have stripped the soil of vital nutrients which we need to build and maintain healthy hormones in our bodies, as well as pesticides and chemicals and food preservatives that keep our foods shelf stable and allow us to grow much larger quantities of food, as well as our GMOs that have also made plants more pest resistant, as well as more bountiful, producing larger fruits and vegetables, producing larger grains with higher gluten content. A lot of these things in the industrial agricultural practices are having a lot of downstream effects in our bodies, especially when it comes to our hormones. Some of these things, such as pesticides and chemicals, really impact the way our hormone signaling works by acting as endocrine disruptors. Our hormone system is known as the endocrine system, and we have many endocrine organs throughout our bodies that crank out hormones when they are supposed to provide vital functions to our body. Not only do these hormones regulate very important things such as blood sugar, blood pressure, healthy libido, healthy mood stabilizers, but they also are heavily involved in more intricate signaling throughout the body that helps our entire system function, and this includes all of our cells and organs. Because the modern world has disrupted hormone balance for so many of us, truly every single one of us can use at some point in our lives some form of functional hormone testing to help course correct and get us back on track. The Dutch hormone test is one of my foundational labs, it is very frequently one of the first labs that I will run with a new client, and it is the absolute best hormone test currently available on the market, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more in a few moments. But first, I just wanted to touch on what kinds of chronic symptoms and chronic diseases can be resolved through balancing your hormones. First of all, anything having to do with the reproductive system, whether that is as a woman having a strong, healthy menstrual cycle with minimal pain and discomfort, if you are someone who experiences migraines, heavy bleeding, anger, sadness, mood swings that are out of control, if you experience PMS or PMDD, if you are someone who experiences a lot of chronic pain from PCOS, or anything having to do with your female reproductive organs, hormone testing is the absolute best place to start to assess what is causing this pain and discomfort. Some symptoms that are heavily related to hormones but are not always so obvious are chronic migraines, chronic fatigue, joint pain, indigestion, thin hair and nails, loss of bone density, blood sugar dysregulation, weight gain, anxiety, chronic stress, having trouble sleeping at night. All of these things involve your hormones to one degree or another. Truly, no matter what chronic ailment you are experiencing, your hormones are either one of the root causes or have been greatly impacted downstream of one of the root causes. Your hormones are greatly involved. The Dutch test is really top quality, top-notch hormone testing. It surpasses all other functional hormone testing by a long shot. And this is because it not only tests for your stress hormones and your sex hormones, such as cortisol, DHEA, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, but it also tests for hormone metabolites to see how your body is breaking down, utilizing, and detoxing these hormones, and if there's any interference occurring along the way. This can help us really pinpoint very specific organs and processes within the body that could use different types of support, such as supplementation, nutritional support, and even detoxification support. This way, we're not guessing. We know exactly which hormones you have excess of or too low, and we know exactly where the breakdown is occurring along the way. This allows us to give really targeted support to your hormones. In addition to all of these hormones and hormone metabolites that are measured in the Dutch test, we also get a panel of organic acids which provide further insight into things like gut inflammation, neural inflammation, and different nutrient levels such as B6 and B12. This really gives us a very well-rounded visual of what's going on within your body and where are some other areas of your health that may need further investigation or could use our love and support. The Dutch hormone test that I use is a dried urine test. It's so easy to take. The lab ships it to you. You pee on a couple pieces of paper, you follow the instructions in the kit, and you send it back to the lab. I have run this test on myself twice already, and I am going to show you some of my own personal hormone results just to give you an idea of what this test might look like if you were to run one for yourself. Before I do that, I'm just going to touch on two of my other favorite hormone-related tests and why I included them in this portion of the website. You may be wondering why it would be so important to run a GI map, which tests for all of the microorganisms living inside of your gut, and how that may be related to your hormone function and your hormone health. The most important factor here is that your gut microbiome is very involved in your hormone detoxification process, especially when it comes to estrogen, which can be one of the trickiest hormones in the female menstrual cycle. Dysbiosis in the gut can lead to a lot of inflammation that can additionally impact your hormonal response within your body. If you have bad bacterial overgrowths or parasites or candida, anything that is causing excess inflammation, your body registers this as a stress response. And anything that further drives a stress response in your body is going to impact your adrenal function, otherwise known as your HPA axis, which also involves the brain. And it's going to cause trouble with other very important sex hormones downstream, such as your estrogen and your testosterone. As I always say, we cannot treat any one area of the body within a vacuum. The gut and your hormones are intricately connected in ways that cannot be ignored, and looking very carefully at both areas of health can really enable us to achieve true root cause healing. The HTMA test, which is a hair mineral analysis, is another one of my favorite tests when it comes to hormones, especially when it comes to preconception and fertility. If you are someone who is struggling to have a baby or has been planning on having a baby in the near future, this test can give us insight into which vital nutrients, minerals you may be lacking that you would need to maintain a healthy pregnancy and build and maintain healthy hormones throughout that pregnancy, as well as any heavy metals and toxicity that you may want to detox so that your body is the safest and healthiest environment possible for growing the very delicate organism that a fetus is. Working on this particular area of your health is going to hugely impact your baby's ability to grow and develop a healthy nervous system, which is later going to enable them to have healthy brain function, healthy learning abilities, and a much healthier emotional life early and later on in life. If you have excess of any major toxic heavy metals, this can majorly impact your endocrine system, affecting your menstrual cycle, causing all kinds of problems from anxiety to poor sleep issues to PMS, PMDD, and having any vital nutrients lacking, such as iron or zinc, calcium, magnesium, potassium, is going to majorly impact this as well. I'm going to show you my own Dutch results so that you can get an idea of what a Dutch test looks like and how impactful it could be to run a Dutch test for yourself. Okay, so this is just a brief overview of what the Dutch test looks like. Here we get general levels of our most prominent hormones: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. As you can see, my progesterone is in the green zone, but it's going a little lower to the left. My estrogen is very high. It's at the high end of the spectrum here. And because the progesterone's a bit lower and the estrogen is so high, this would be considered estrogen dominance. This can lead to a lot of problems such as mood swings, PMS, heavy bleeding, migraines, etc. Here we get a picture of what a cortisol daily rhythm looks like, and as you can see, due to chronic childhood stress and stress that followed me all through into my young adulthood, my cortisol has basically begun to crash in the afternoon and really just stays at the very low end of the spectrum in the afternoon and at night. This can cause a lot of chronic fatigue in the afternoons and the evenings, and in the past has led to a lot of caffeine dependency for me. This is where we get a general idea of what the hormone metabolites look like and what the detoxification system is doing. And I'm not going to go super into detail because there's a lot of information here, and I'm going to be making a separate video that goes much further into detail about this at another point. But this can give you a general idea of how jam-packed this test is with valuable information about how you are detoxing your androgens, how you are metabolizing your progesterone, and how you are metabolizing and detoxing your estrogen all the way through the liver. Here on this page, we get deeper insight into what your daily cortisol rhythm looks like and your cortisone rhythm. And then here on this page, we get a panel of organic acids that can really indicate other issues that may be going on in the body that may be contributing to or maybe a result of your hormone imbalance, and areas that we may want to focus on or look into further. I hope that that visual was helpful to you when it comes to understanding what a functional lab test like the Dutch hormone test looks like when you run one for yourself, and how valuable it is to learning how to heal your hormones and support your body. If you are ready to get started healing your hormones, or you just want to get to know me a little better and see what kind of plans I have available, how we could work together to resolve your health issues, please go ahead and book a free health consultation with me. And before you go, if you want to stay up to date on any future offerings, new videos on various topics that I may be putting out in the near future, then go ahead and sign up for my newsletter, which is linked up in my menu above. I would love to see you on that list and get to know you further.